What's going on? What's going on? You got the almighty DJ CJ Flash having a blast, back with a brand new live episode of I Remember That Song. Here to tell you all about it is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jerry Dove.
CJ Flash, Dominus.
Ominous.
R&B, no wait, hip-hop swag. Hip-hop swag.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on.
I didn't think that through. I didn't think about that before.
Yeah.
That was spur of the moment that wasn't working.
Hold tight on that, bro. Okay, stick with the R&B swag. Okay. We can roll with that.
Dominus, ominous, R&B swag. What's going on? I was just going with the hip hop because you saw my little video of me breakdancing, breaking my back.
Bruh, so, that was hilarious.
Why Sherry keep throwing water on me, man? You know what? When we were done, there was water on the wall. There was water over here. I said, "What did you do?" Water all down the crack of my back.
Yeah. Big shout out to Sherry Dove.
I'm not gonna shout her out. We're not gonna shout her out. What are you talking about?
You gotta shout her out. Sherry is hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it's good to see you, man. We got a big show tonight. We're going to talk about the b-boy and the hip hop and the R&B, not R&B, but breakdancing culture. I'm going to ask a whole lot of questions on behalf of myself and a lot of people in the audience who just always wondered what it was and just kind of went along with it. So I don't know as much as you guys do, but I'm going to ask the question that we always wanted to find out. Okay. Basic questions, hopefully some good questions, but we're going to have some fun with that tonight. Okay. So let's bring the crew in so we can get this party started. We got with us tonight, she has her own breaker board. I asked her if she could find a picture of it or if she could find it. I don't know what she's done, but her name is Ryan Nicole. Couldn't find a breaker board?
This cat.
No breaker board tonight. I'm sorry. That's long disintegrated.
Okay. He's a skater. He's got a skateboard. He used to do all kind of flips and stuff on that back in his day. He's a b-boy himself. His name is Russell Gatewood. No? I'm wrong again? No.
He said no. You never rode a skateboard, bro?
Not well. Just with Tony Hawk.
Right?
Just with Tony Hawk. Okay.
Oh yeah, you gotta see that
on the video games. Okay.
Oh, no.
Bro,
Caught some hair.
What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Rush, you gotta pull up that picture, bro.
Oh, in that case, bro.
It's somewhere on the Wild World of Sports or somewhere.
Okay. There's some stories there. Okay. D Minor will be joining us soon. As you guys know, he works for the school board, and they got some kind of union meetings and everything going on. So he said he's going to be with us as soon as they're done. So he will be with us. So look, tonight we had a great show. Again, like I said, we're going to talk about the history of breakdancing and b-boys. And one of my first questions to CJ was, is b-boy the same as breakdancing? Hold your thoughts. And we're also going to, as we all know, we lost a legend. Man, this has been a tough year. And we lost D'Angelo today. So we got a couple of guests that are going to talk about that. And we got one guest that's going to stick around and talk about the breakdancing as well. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to say our goodbyes for today anyway. And by the way, we had done a show recently on the 30th anniversary of the Brown Sugar album. I'll replay that one on Thursday. And so you guys will see that. It'll be in the lounge and all over the place on all the social media platforms. We'll replay that whole show on Thursday. Before we get started, I got to talk about what's going on this Friday at the Vibe Bistro. I will be the host, and performing live will be Nina Causey. Nina has performed all over the world, singing in musicals where she was Billie Holiday. She was Carmen. She was in Carmen. Help me, guys. Carmen Jones. She played Dorothy Dandridge. She sang as just everything and everybody. So she was telling me she's got a whole show that's going to be blues, jazz, neo soul. She's going to be at the Vibe Bistro this Friday, 8 o'clock is the starting time. Doors open at 7. DJ Square will be in the mix. Got food, we got drinks, got free parking. Come on out and check us out. You can get your tickets at vibebistro.com. Okay.
I got a question for you. Is Is this an ongoing series of the Vibe Bistro, or
Every 2 weeks, I'm out there with live music. Yes.
so
Yeah.
this it's gonna be until in perpetuity until y'all
That's
y'all
the
say
hope.
no more.
We need people to come on out and support. Anything that's new, it's going to take a while to get lifted off the ground. We've had people like Martin Luther out there. We had LaFemme Patel out there. We had Rick Alexander. We had the Soul Mechanics. We've had a lot of folks out there, and it's been a lot of fun. So, so just like I said, things are getting better and better and better. We got a lot of food selection, very low prices, beer, alcohol, mixed drinks, and bartender. Like I said, free parking is right outside the Richmond BART station. Safe, beautiful new building. Come on through. All right.
There you go.
Okay. So one more thing then, and let's get this party started. We're going to bring in our two guests. First of all, I'm going to bring in the man who's going to be with us throughout the whole night. I can see that he's in a safe place now. Thank God. Dominus Ominous. Y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. Like 5 minutes ago, we was playing on this brother. But his name is Wayne Jackson. He is raised in the San Francisco's historic Fillmore district. He came up with the legendary Fillmore Strutters as a member of the group Granny and the Robotroid.
Granny and the
Robotroid.
Robotroid. Okay, that's close. That's a different one. This one right here. Granny and Robotroid Incorporated.
Yep.
I've seen Wayne's joined us on a couple of other shows in the past, and I said, we got to get you on for a whole feature one time. So tonight is tonight. Say hello to Wayne Jackson.
Wayne Jackson.
Turn your mic on. You're on mute, bro.
Turn your mic on.
He's working on it.
There you go.
I should have been ready. What's up, family? How y'all doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
We are just happy. So where'd you end up going? You look like you're inside somewhere. Let me see.
I can't.
Somewhere warm.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Somewhere warm.
Fireplace, be good.
No comment on why you got the smallest picture, bro.
Well, I got the wait. Got the what?
You got the smallest picture.
It's the phone. It's the phone.
The phone, man. Hold on. Let me. Should I turn
If
it
you turn
on?
it sideways. Well.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Wait, hold on.
There you go,
bro. There you go.
Deal with Russ all day with those.
You're not the only one, Wayne.
Yeah, for real. We all got stories on that, man. But there, okay, we're good.
Ryan,
I've been in that house before.
Wayne.
I was DJing in that house.
Well, it's good to see you, man. I want to hear all about your stories about your dancing and what you've done in the Bay. I hear you're like a legend out here. So between you and CJ, there's going to be a lot of dance-off stories, dance-off stories. And also tonight, we got another guest joining us from New York City, but she's a Bay Area girl. She hit me up after we saw what happened with D'Angelo and said, hey, G, if you guys are doing the show tonight, I'd love to come on. I got some great D'Angelo stories. And so you ain't said nothing but nothing. So here she is. Say hello to Timbisa Mshaka.
Yeah.
What's up, Timbisa?
Hey, y'all. What's
How you
good?
doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man. Again, I literally just sort of came to terms with losing Dwayne Wiggins, and here we are. So it's been a brutal year for
It really has.
legends lost in Black music. And so I just wanted to, honor his memory with some analog stories from the pre-social media period.
Nice.
All right, let's go ahead and kick one off. Let's go.
Well, hold on, Jerry. Can we invite the people in?
Oh, yeah. You're right. See, she had me going, man. I was getting all emotional and everything like that.
I know. I'm down to kick it too, but I think, this is a prime opportunity to invite the community in because we are in mourning, each one of us individually, right? We're all in mourning, and it is the last time we lost a legend. I just said this on my socials. The last time we lost a major legend like this, Prince, I immediately took to the streets and decided to throw this concert. And from that, hundreds of people gathered and we partied. And we partied in his name, and it was so beautiful. And a band formed from that, and it was just it was just instinct. But I think what I learned from that is that mourning in community is critical. There's a reason why funerals are funerals. You know what I'm saying? And so this is our first opportunity to mourn together collectively. So what's up, y'all? Welcome to I Remember That Song Live. We are here. We are on all your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, which is where you should be seeing us at IRTS Show on YouTube. We're on Roku, on SoulTVWatch.com for all those folks that are across the pond. And you guys are probably feeling like we're feeling, you know, you're probably having some emotions, having some memories about D'Angelo. So now is your opportunity to drop your name in the chat. Let us know where you're from. You know, share this with a friend, mourn in community, you know what I'm saying? And then here's one thing I would love for you to do. Put your favorite memory, like when you first put a CD into the CD deck and listen to D'Angelo, or when you first, you know, put that needle on the record or the tape in the tape deck or streamed. I don't know when you came to him, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, very well done. Very well done. So let's say hello. Who's here? Who's here already? Let's see. We've got Stephanie Jackson, Stephanie from the Bay, SMJ from the Bay. Ray Harris is with us from the Central Valley. He's in. Shirley, speaking of the Central Valley, she's down in Atwater. She's right there. And there's a lot more people coming. They always come in. So thanks a lot. Okay, now, Timbisa, yes, you go first. Let's go.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity to share in community, Ryan, Nicole. It's really a beautiful point that you bring up, because I definitely found out and was alone when I found out, and was just, you know, like frozen, really in disbelief and shock and sadness. So I just wanted to come on and kind of share about our sort of joint origin story, if you will. At the time that Brown Sugar was being released, I had spent a little over a year as a rap editor for Gavin. And I don't quite remember how I got a hold of the record. But once I heard it, I knew that I needed to do like a big story on it. And I wanted to do a cover story because there were some elements of funk, soul, and hip hop in this album, you know, alchemized in a way that we hadn't heard before. And so, and being a huge fan of Prince, obviously, the multi-instrumentalist of D'Angelo really spoke to me. So I said, you know, I want to do a cover. I know he's not a rapper, but I, in my very Sagittarian way, was like, I don't care. I need to tell this story, and I'm going to do it. So D'Angelo got his first Trade magazine cover with me. And I loved the story, and I just was so excited to tell the story, because it was insane to me that D'Angelo's album, Brown Sugar, had pretty much collected dust on a shelf at EMI Records for like 2 years. And they didn't realize that it was his album until the single You Will Know from the Jason's Lyric soundtrack blew up, and they realized that he was the writer on that song. So I just felt like I needed to tell this story of, you know, the importance of A&R, of Black executive talent, discovering an artist. And I think what happened was there was some sort of a transition. Gary Harris signed him to EMI, but I don't know what happened, whether he left or was let go, or how it transpired. You know, may Gary rest in peace. But
Gary was let go.
2 years go by and Brown Sugar's not even out. It's done.
Crazy.
It's been done all this time, right?
Crazy.
So I reached out. I said, listen, I need to interview him. Let's figure it out. And, you know, he's pretty much like a young guy who's just in Virginia. He's not balling out by any means. He's, you know, an emerging new artist, really, and a writer, composer, you know, and it's very hard to get him on the phone because all he's doing is shedding and making music, and he's not, you know, he's not really interested in doing press. He's very reclusive even then. So I'm trying to be, on standby for whenever I'm going to get the phone call. I end up going to a listening party for Michael Jackson's History. I think I'm in Los Angeles. And I get the call.
Yes.
Now it's Epic Records. It's Michael Jackson. It's money all up in that piece. Okay.
Right.
It's also extremely loud.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. I left and I went to my car and I took the call and I did the interview from the car. And I had my little notepad.
I know that's right.
I didn't even have time to pull together my recorder or any of that. I wish I had the interview on tape. I don't think I do. I feel like I had it there, but I was just too like, I got to get this. Because it was also like, I've never talked to him. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know when I'm going to lose him mentally. Like he might be like, I don't know this no more or whatever.
Right.
So I have to just capitalize and get what I can get out of him as a journalist. We ended up talking and I missed the entire listening party. And I was fine with it. But, it was just, we had such a beautiful conversation just about music and process and, this idea that his debut had pretty much been forgotten about.
So crazy.
And, he was just like so excited that the moment was finally there, that it was happening. And he really was like kind of blown away that somebody wanted to put him on the cover and like, really let people know this is the future of, soul, of R&B. And he really was sort of the genesis of neo soul. And so from this, we get the Soulquarians and, we get, a whole amalgamation of R&B and hip hop in ways we hadn't heard before. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill comes in 98. They do this duet, Nothing Even Matters. And, it's a full circle moment for me because by then I'm the campaign writer for Lauryn Hill.
Wow.
So, it was just beautiful to just talk with him, just sweet and humble and really just excited about the music. Like he could talk about music and it would just be like, even if you were a total stranger, you created relatedness with him just from talking about the music. And so when it was time for him to record, I think it's Voodoo, he's at Electric Lady. And this is a place that he loves to record in because it's got the energy of other legends there. Jimi Hendrix recorded there. So many amazing rock artists played there and recorded there. And so he would literally like book out the studio and pretty much have as much of it to himself as he could. And, Virgin Records being a label that understood rock legends, they were fine with it.
Right.
So he, would be at Electric Lady and he wouldn't come out until the record was done. And he was just, so passionate and intense about it and deliberate and intentional with everything that he did in terms of, composition and musicianship and vocals. And it was a real privilege to be able to go visit him at Electric Lady because you weren't to disturb D'Angelo while he was recording, right? But because we'd had this relatedness and the first cover experience, and I had a really good relationship with his then publicist, Jasmine Vega. Shout out to Jasmine. I know that her heart is broken today. She was like, yeah, come, he wants to see you. Like, he's going to take a little break and you guys are going to
I love that.
Yeah. So, so we just had, the kind of conversations and the kind of relationship where it was like, I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity to shine a light on what I know is your greatness. You know, when you're a music journalist, you're in the forecasting business, you know,
Yeah.
because you don't have anybody else except for the people who are cheerleading for this project to tell you that it's great. So it's really up to you to decide and then present it to the world or whoever your audience was. And in that, you know, in the case of Gavin, it's radio programmers, it's DJs, it's college and community stations, you know, and all of the people across formats who are learning about other formats, you know, other than the ones they work in. So, you know, for him to be, I think he was my second cover. The first one was Shaheem when I first got there in '94. And it was just such an honor. And I feel so grateful to have had the opportunity to contribute to springboarding his career. I mean, he was going to go regardless, but I loved being first and right in that instance. You know, so many quote unquote journalists. I mean, I feel like most of these people are, you know, media personalities, content creators. They're not necessarily writers or journalists. They're happy to be first and wrong. And you know, I'm not cut from that cloth, but you know, I loved being able to be first and right with Dee. And I'm so saddened and thinking about his family, and particularly, you know, his son who's lost both of his parents in the span of 7 months. It's just,
it's crazy.
You know,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So,
well, obviously he appreciated you too. So I flashed his magazine up. It's autographed. You probably can't read it from there, but he's very thankful to you for what he was saying. So, and then this moment here that you shared that I popped in there too. So.
Yes. And
so
I still
beautiful.
have that physical copy of the magazine. Like I still have it in a container somewhere here. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can scan the pages of it, and then upload it somewhere so that people can read the story, because you know, Gavin was a very limited you know, subscriber base, because it was for the industry. It wasn't consumer facing in the way that our competitor at the time, Billboard, was. So I feel like it would be you know, great for people to kind of read what his origin story was, and how that conversation that we had turned out. And
that would be an honor.
I'm sure you can get, there's an app out there that'll take care of that for you. So let's get a couple more thoughts.
Do that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Russ.
Gavin was a trade magazine. People don't understand the power that Gavin had. It pioneered on a lot of fronts. It pioneered by putting a Black woman behind the pen and having her voice. It was not muted at all. Her editors made sure that her voice was heard on every page that she wrote. Gavin also was one of the more true music conventions, as far as being able to blend all elements of the trade. So you had radio, you had retail, you had publicists, you had everybody there, and it was in San Francisco. And it was very well done. It never got out of hand. You never hear about Gavin the rapper. It wasn't Jack the rapper at all.
Right.
You know? But there were
was a lot of respect for it, you know.
Yeah,
and people,
there was.
You know,
There was.
they
And still is. And still is. You'll hear chatter every once in a while about somebody saying they want to bring Gavin back, and but Gavin, given the props to Gavin, the people that they hired, the writers that they had on board, it was pretty true. You got a lot of truth there. And if you're going to digitize that one, you got to digitize the Wu-Tang. You got to digitize. You broke a lot. Get off your little humble tree stump.
Right.
Because you broke a lot of stuff. You know.
Yeah, there were a lot of firsts for me with Gavin. I put Bone Thugs and Harmony on their first cover. Common, Lady of Rage, Scarface as a solo artist. So I had a really good run. Nonchalant, DC woman MC with her big record 5 o'clock. And so, you know,
where you gonna be?
Right, exactly.
In the morning,
you know,
in the morning.
like,
outside on the corner.
An artist advocate, and just wanting to make sure that the best music, the best creativity comes to the fore. And I'm gonna try to be a little more like, let me pop my own color, but
pop it.
Because you're a triple threat. You're a triple threat. Often writers don't really have all three elements. You know, either they love writing, but they don't love what they have to write about. You know, but you love writing, you love music, and you love artists, and it shows in your writing. And you've been able, you know, the longevity. What you did with Sony, they haven't been able to replace you since you left. So I don't. There's a void there. So I would love to see you digitize it. Selfishly, as a friend, I want to see you continue to rise to the top. But just as a fan, and I want to learn. Although I probably will look at it and say, "Oh, I read this before. Oh, I read this before."
Right.
but I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with it. Don't sleep on that.
Thank you, Russ. I receive it. Some of the things that I wrote in Gavin have surfaced online, like for example, the eulogy I did for Pac. Someone scanned that and put that up, so I did find that. So I'm gonna try to get this D'Angelo piece up. And I guess the last thing that I want to say is that you spoke about not being muted. And that comes from having an editorial team that believes in the power of your voice and believes that it's necessary that it be unfiltered while still having the guidance to make the stories great. And I want to give the credit, the flowers, if you will, to my two editors, Beverly Meyer and Ben Fong Torres, who is a San Francisco legend.
Yeah.
Has been on the radio, and he also was the editorial director for Rolling Stone. He was the Asian brother who was depicted in Almost Famous as,
right.
the guy who was getting the big stories with all the rock stars. And so I truly
my husband's professor, one of my husband's favorite professors.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Ben on Saturday. I'm part of the Bay Area Hall of Fame, Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame on the board, and we have a big luncheon on Saturday. So I'll see Ben there.
Nice.
Please give him my love. He
I
is
definitely
like
will.
my
Definitely will.
favorite. He's
a joke a minute. He never stopped with the jokes at the one line.
Yeah, no, he's so amazing, and I'm just grateful for the tutelage, and I stand on their shoulders. And for everyone who is heartbroken today, D'Angelo's legacy is secure. He has touched so many great songs as a writer, as a composer, as a player. He has influenced so many wonderful artists who've come after him. He is the genesis of a subgenre of soul music, and we've been blessed by all of his gifts. And I take some comfort in knowing that we have a new mighty ancestor on our side who's super, super powerful, and that he's reunited with so many of the people who loved him, from Dominique Trenier, his former manager, to Gary Harris, to Angie, to Roy Hargrove, who was on a lot of his records, to Jay Dilla, who he was very, very close to. And so heaven is opening up and welcoming him, and
heaven is cracking right now.
It's cracking.
All of my love to those who have survived him, and I hope that they find peace and comfort over time. And it's painful.
And I want to add a period to that by saying an F cancer, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
1,000%.
Right.
All kinds of cancer.
Yes.
It's Cancer Awareness Month this month. Yeah.
To get our screenings, we need to continue to do the best we can in terms of diet, because there's the environmental aspect of this as well, in terms of like what's happening with our food and what's happening with our planet. Carcinogens are everywhere, and so we just need to be vigilant. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the time we all had with D'Angelo.
Indeed.
Yes. Very well done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tambisa.
Thanks as always for having me on.
You know what? Like I said, you reached out to me. I'm honored that you remember my name when you see me in the streets. Are you kidding me? Come on. And I've never met you in person.
I'm gonna hop off, but I'm gonna be watching the conversation as I think about B-boys and B-girls, demons of the mind, strutting, all of that.
Hey.
Well, I'm going to learn some things, so don't laugh at me with my questions. I'm here to learn tonight. But thank you very much for joining us.
All right.
Okay?
I love
Thanks,
you.
love. Love you.
I love you, Tim. I'll hit you later.
All right.
Okay. All right,
super,
folks.
super cool, man.
That's it.
Timbisa is our gem.
Yes,
A
she is
history, a
profound.
history
Yes,
maker.
Our gem.
Mhm.
Good Lord.
She just dropped that fact, you know.
Mm.
She was the first one to put him on a cover. Like
Yeah.
that's history. That's legend making right there.
I'm gonna have to send this to you guys so you can read what he wrote on there. Because again, I don't know if you can make it out here, but
I
it's
can't.
very personal and very deliberate. So he knew exactly what he was doing when he wrote
Send that
that.
to us, please,
I
brother.
definitely will. I
So
definitely will.
that picture right there is the reason why I did not listen to the record when I first got it.
Really? The cover or the picture?
No, it
itself?
wasn't a cup. It was just a CD. I told the story before.
Yeah.
The Music People, which was an independent distributor in the Bay Area, they had a picnic or a barbecue every year. And they weren't too far from where you live, CJ. It was in
right around the corner, basically.
Yeah.
West
40th
MacArthur.
and
West
40th or
MacArthur.
something. Yeah.
West MacArthur.
And they had a barbecue that was always out in the vacant lot. And all the labels would come and support.
Yeah.
And then every independent rapper would be there, selling their wares. And,
get it off.
I would walk out with just all these CDs, that's just huge amounts. And I looked, and it didn't have it. It came in a clear jewel case, and it was just the disc. There was just a clear jewel case, and just a disc. And I will tell you right now, he looked like every other rapper.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I'll get to it. It was just sitting there for weeks. It was sitting there. And what I used to do is I used to have a ritual where I would listen to music on Saturday mornings when I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
And I just put the music in like those 5-disc turn
CD changes. Yeah.
and just put it on scramble. And I just let it play. And I kept hearing this music. I kept going back I would hear a song and I'd go back and say, what disc is this? I go back, it's disc 3. Okay, I let it play. I go back again. I said, wait, let's not go back and look at disc 3 again. I did it one more time. I said, okay, let me just stop the scramble. Let me just listen to disc 3. And I let it play and I was like, oh, this is hot. Okay, this is hot too. Then I stopped the player and opened it up and looked at it. I was like, you got to be
It's homeboy with the braids,
the braids and the leather jacket and the Carhartt jeans, and I'm like, what is going? And I called everybody I knew. Just that morning, I called everybody like, yo, forgive me, but I'm telling you now, this dude is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I slept on it. I'm not gonna front. I slept.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people did. If he was shelved for 2 years.
For 2 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I wonder if you just still release it 2 years, your music taste change and the industry changes, but I wonder if it just came out like it was 2 years prior. So
if you listen to this record today, it would sound brand new.
Yeah.
That record is evergreen.
Yeah. I think his effect. I think that.
Hello, D Minor.
Hey,
how y'all doing?
Hey.
What happened to your special mic?
My special mic?
Yeah.
You got jokes. Oh, okay.
That was a compliment, man. That mic that you have was amazing.
You got the sheer baritone.
Yeah, you came in with the Howard Stern in the bottom of your voice.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
No, lower. Yeah.
All right, how's it going?
Like that.
That one right there, sir.
There we go. All right.
Yep.
No, but his Brown Sugar album, in my opinion, was, I would have to say, it had the same impact that maybe College Dropout had when Kanye came out with that. And Kanye had been working on that album and Russ, please tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of that material that was on that College Dropout, that was worked on for like a year or two prior.
More than that. And there were tracks that he shopped around.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, when he was looking
around, and some of them were demos. They just polished up. But I'd have to argue with you on that, because College Dropout, although it was fresh and pioneering, it was not genre defining. That record actually, I wouldn't say it created a genre, but it was the tentpole of a genre. And I will say that College Dropout was an amazing record for the lifeblood of hip hop. It was a spark plug. It was everything. College Dropout was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So would you say Brown Sugar was the cornerstone of this neo soul genre that would come?
Oh yeah. I think by saying neo soul is kind of giving it a disservice, but yes.
Yeah.
Because it's
All
still, I still think it's very. I honestly, I believe that if you heard that record, somebody you never heard it.
Yeah.
Somebody
play it
gave
today.
you the neuralizer, gave all of us the neuralizer right now, and you just heard that record for the first time, you'd be like, whoa, what is this?
I agree.
I mean, I feel that way about all the projects. And that's one thing that I was saying earlier today, that there is not one project by D'Angelo that feels like it is lesser than the previous one, which, you know, is hard to do as an artist who, first of all, comes out the gate with such a definitive debut, you know, and then continues to, at minimum, maintain status. Like Voodoo was strong as all get out. It also was, you know, having a deep conversation with the spiritual lineage of Black folks that, you know, we weren't talking about in popular spaces.
Right.
And then Black Messiah went on to do more of that, but also, you know, expanding on the Black sound and really inviting people to remember that we were rock, we are funk, we are soul, we're hip hop, we're all of that. We're an expansive people. He never separated from his Blackness. Like everything was deeply Black. And you know, you once you get 3 albums deep, sometimes folks be like, well, you know, let me put a little of this on here and put a little of this on here for radio playability, or, you know, or to get a license deal or whatever. He just
record company.
Yeah, he just got deeper into the root, as he might say.
I was such a hater, though. I was a hater.
Oh, I can't even tolerate you right now, Russ.
I was a hater.
You was a hater on the record, or you just slept on it?
No, I was a hater on Voodoo.
Oh, really?
I was, because I just knew how much better the record would be if I understood what he was saying. Because
you got to understand it on a cellular level, brother.
Look. Okay, check this out.
Frequencies, my guy.
I was disconnected. My tin can in the string was disconnected. I was not able to hear that because I during the same period of time, I heard the beauty of when Ray produced his vocals, how eloquent and how the textures of his vocals, and that I can understand them. But on the songs where he produced his vocals himself, it's like no one told him, yo, bro, run that back. I didn't understand what the hell you just said. And the music of Voodoo was a complete painting. I loved it. But I just wish that someone would have just produced his vocals.
So crank those vocals up a little bit.
Oh no, I think it was intentionally ancestral.
I was just about to ask, do you think it was intentional? Because he drove with intention. Every one of his projects felt like it was intentional. So the way that he layered the vocals and he brought them back on that particular project, you don't feel that was intentional?
I do not disagree with you at all. And I applaud most of the decisions. I personally just felt that I would have liked some clarity in the vocals. And I swear I am the only one in that camp. Everybody else loves it. You ask anybody, they'll say of the 3 records of his canon, Voodoo is number 1.
I go with Brown Sugar.
Most people will say that because it was Brown Sugar was a launch, and this was a huge progression that brought everybody around, and that band that he put together to record and perform that's a moment in time. And most people will tell you right now that Voodoo was it. I'll be the singular hater. I apologize.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Okay, we could go on and on and on about this, obviously, but we do have another topic that we promised the viewing audience out there. So, again, we're on this Thursday, 2 days from now. I'll replay the show that we did on the 30-year anniversary of Brown Sugar. We broke it down each song, all 9 or 10 songs there's on there, a whole hour and a half conversation on that album that I think you will all enjoy. So check it out on your platforms on as Ryan Nicole always says, I'll put it on Facebook. It'll be on Instagram. I'm going to put it on X, LinkedIn. I'll even put it on TikTok. I'm going to put it everywhere I can. You can come to my house, and when you ring my doorbell, it'll play that show for you. And then, but you ain't staying up front of my house for 90 minutes. It's going to be a problem. Okay.
I will.
So, well, you can come on in. You can come on in. But one last thought here. We just D'Angelo has passed away at the age of 51 from pancreatic cancer. Please, again, if you got any kind of concerns about your body, I've dealt with cancer. You guys have dealt with cancer either personally or with your family. So we know what it's all about. It's no joke. It doesn't have favorites. It gets on everybody. So if you got any kind of issues and you feel like, you know what, this hasn't felt good in about 3 days, go get yourself checked out. You never know, especially when you get older, because you never know what it could be. And
especially us men, we don't let
definitely.
It is a must.
I will tell you right now, somebody saved my life by hitting me in the head like, bruh, if you don't go get this checked out.
Thank God.
Good luck.
All right, so CJ Flash, give us one song, or maybe you got a little mix or something, and then we're gonna get on to talking about b-boys and break
girls.
and b-girls and
That's right.
And B-Thays. Are they Thays? Are they B-Thays out there?
There are.
There's some B-Thays, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Flash, give it a little taste.
Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly, and her name was Brown Sugar. See, we be making love constantly, that's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way that we kiss is unlike any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing. What I'm missing, won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe, I guess high up your love, I don't know how to behave. I want something about you. I want something about you. I want something about you.
Oh, sugar, when you're close to me. Yeah, I cannot.
It's a trip that we've listened to that record for many, many years, and nobody really picked up the fact that he was talking about burning herb.
Who didn't?
A lot of folks didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Bro, straight from Chocolate Tie. I was like,
Yeah.
hey.
I met her in Philly. That right there just tells you everything.
Yeah. I mean, he's smoking a blunt in the video.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
But that's also the genius of the multifaceted.
Well-written double entendre.
Double entendre.
I was going to say that, but I can't say that. It's like Worcestershire.
It's like what? Like what, right?
It's like Worcestershire sauce. I can't say it.
Worcestershire. I can't say Worcestershire.
All right.
Go get this.
Yes. Live at the Jazz
Cafe.
Yes, Jazz Cafe in London.
Okay.
Go get this wine.
Can we have your copy? Can I borrow your copy?
You
Right,
can.
that's gonna cost $3 million.
You absolutely can.
Remember, we used to loan our records and never get them back.
You would write your name on a label.
Yeah,
exactly, and they just knew who they stole it from. That's all.
Exactly.
A lot of records in my collection say Robert Vernon.
They knew where they stole it from,
That's
and
your
they still
alias.
wouldn't give it back. You know,
That's my pen name.
Say, brother, that's a fantastic record. Can I borrow it?
Captures by Robert Vernon.
Right.
No, my brother, you got to
get your own.
All right, look here. Let's go. Wayne, we're gonna get you in here now. You ready, Wayne?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hat on. You ready now?
So we are going to talk about because a few weeks ago, me and CJ were talking about. We always talk about what the show's going to be, and I said we always got like a few of them in the bag that when we don't have a guest or something like that, or something big is not happening. We said, well, okay, we can always do this one. I said I want to do one because I want to know the difference between a b-boy and a break dancer. Just like you talk about hip hop and rap, and all these folks my age, maybe even younger. They think they know what it means, or they think they figured it all out, but you never really ask the question. So I'm going to start off by asking the panel, is there a difference between a b-boy and a breakdancer, and what is the definition of b-boy and breakdancing? Am I even saying the question correctly? You know what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
So who's first?
Well, for me, we didn't know what b-boy was growing up in Fillmore. We were just straight strutters. We didn't hear about b-boy till breaking came out.
Right.
And growing up in San Francisco, man, we only knew the Fillmore district and didn't know anything else existed because we did all the talent shows in Fillmore, all the parties were in Fillmore, all the skating parties we did was in Fillmore. Everything was in Fillmore. And I started dancing like 11 years old. So when I got in Granny Robotroid, my first performance was in 77. She put on a show called The Battle of the Robots at Ernest Ingle Boys Club. And I think here on this picture, I was like 14.
Well, which one are you?
To the far right in the with the brown on.
Okay. Right.
In a black and white picture.
It's a black and white picture, actually.
I'm sorry, but
he was there.
I know what color I had on.
In the picture, you're on the right.
Okay. I'm
That
on
was
the right.
funny.
In the dark.
Okay.
In
Yes.
the dark. Yeah.
Standing up far
clearly
right.
in the brown.
Standing
Clearly.
up far right.
Yes.
Russ, let me finish, Claire. So now, when I joined the group, they had just finished the Gong Show
Okay.
with Chuck Barris.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the gentlemen was leaving the group. I don't know why, but I was taking his place. And I ended up in the group because my cousin was going to audition. And I went with him.
Oh, damn.
Right. And
those stories.
Did your cousin didn't get in? He was supposed to be in?
He didn't make the group, man. I just went with him. And then she said, she asked me if I danced. Granny did, Deborah Simon. And I said, yeah, And I was like, back then, I was like into locking, right? And then a little robot here and there. And then she saw me and she was like, I like your vibe. So they had me rehearse. And then I ended up making a group. And I learned a whole professional ethic at a young age of rehearsal and being precise about what you do. And at that young age, we were rehearsing 8 hours a day.
Wow.
Like
Keep you out of
nonstop.
trouble.
During summertime? During the summertime?
No, nonstop. Even during school.
Okay.
And her thing was everything had to be professional. We weren't allowed to do no talent shows and not dance against anyone. And Granny, her thing was she was this old lady with these toys from her basement, and we were her robot toys. And she had this routine where we would come out before her, but we would creep down each aisle of wherever we were, whether it was at Ben Franklin, whatever high school, whatever venue we were at. And we would get on the stage and each one of us would dance, and then our wind-ups would stop. And then she would come from the back and all the kids would start screaming. And then she'd get on the stage and ask the kids if they wanted her to wind us up. She made all our suits and everything, and she'd wind us up. And all the music was made from a live band. So she would wind us up, pull the key out, and we'd come up, each one, and just start getting busy. And then the music would segue into a routine, and we'd do a routine. And then she did a routine with us. And it was a nice sketch. Everything was very well planned. She had it well planned for us. And before each performance, she had us meditating.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Meditating.
Mind body connection. Yeah.
And she taught me this thing. She was like, if you don't, she said, after each show, I need you to hold on one second, guys. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
He about to go meditate.
After each show, I want you to leave.
Right.
Hold on.
The suspense. I want to know more about Granny, though. I want to know how
Yeah,
she.
Granny sounds like she was quite a character.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, Granny and the Robotroys were legendary.
I'm sorry about that, you guys. I take care of my mom, so I kind of go
Yeah.
back and forth, and she's experiencing dementia, so I gotta make sure she's good.
Oh, bless you.
She said to us, after you perform, get off the stage. We're going to the back and we're leaving, because when people don't know you, they're going to always want to be at your next show. So I learned that at like 11 or 12 years old, man, of how to stay mysterious to your fans. And she always had us come down. We did a creep, and she taught us, we learned a style of creeping to a certain record that was very slow. And when we would come down the aisle, you would look to the left, and then you look to the right, and then you would smile this way, and you would smile that way until you got all the way to the stage. And she said, only smile at the girls. Don't smile at nobody else. No, she was giving straight game.
She giving game, yeah.
She was giving game, yeah.
Well, obviously, she had a show business background, then I have to think, right?
Yeah, because she gave a lot of variety shows. So when she put her shows together, that's why I learned promoting too, because she put those flyers together. She had us out putting flyers all over the place, posting them on poles, all over the place, man. She put these variety shows together. Not only did we strut, she made us sing.
Wow.
She had us tap dancing.
Wow.
And then the strutters came in at the end.
Wow.
So for people who tried to audition for Granny, couldn't make it because the work ethic was very rigorous. So for me, and I carry that on, that when I got in other groups, like nobody rehearsed like us. And she wouldn't allow us to rehearse in mirrors. We never use mirrors.
Wow.
Everything was by feel. Everything was by feel.
What's her training? Like, do you know her background?
She was always into just doing acting and performing and theatrics. She was just always into that. That was her thing.
She had the game tight.
Did she have her own kids and grandchildren? Or
her son was in the group with us.
Okay.
Tom was in the group. Yeah.
Okay, I got a little video that you had sent me. So let me play this. Everybody look close because it's kind of quick. Okay, here we go.
For your body?
Yeah.
Then make it come back, huh?
Yeah.
That's really nice. What else do you like to do?
Moonwalking.
Moonwalk? How do you do that?
Like, put your foot like this. Then you push back. Then you push back. Yeah, like that. You got it? Yeah.
I think it's hard.
That's not Wayne. I was just joking with you guys.
I was about to say, Wayne. I remember that show.
I'm looking at you guys.
I have a fun fact. I have a fun fact that you guys probably don't know.
Okay.
So in 77, the Battle of the Robots, it was this group from Oakland called the Diabolical 2. And he did that backslide in 77, right? And he ended up hanging out with us, and he taught me how to do it, and it's called the Swan.
The Swan.
Because he did it like this, floating backwards.
Oh.
And he called it the Swan.
Okay.
And then my phone started blowing up years later, and my friends were calling me going, Michael Jackson just did that thing he used to do in the neighborhood.
That's crazy.
So it was crazy. And that was like, man, like years later when Mike did that.
Yeah, it would have been 7 years later.
Yeah, no. And Mike talked about it being in the hood way before he did it. Yeah. But when we just, thank God for YouTube, maybe about 15 years ago it surfaced where the original cat from the 40s showed up doing the moonwalk. And it was like, see, so nothing new under the sun.
Right. And I do have a real video here that Wayne had sent me. So it's only about 7 seconds long. So check it out.
That was tight.
So that's me in the gray.
Let's do it again.
That's me in the gray right here. That's
in the
Tony
center.
Next to me. That's Tony in the center. That's me in the gray leaning over the baby carriage. In the baby carriage is
Oh,
Ezra.
okay.
We taught Ezra how to strut at that age.
Wow.
And that's Bobby Rivers. Rest in peace to Bobby, and Granny's on the far end. So that video right
hey.
there,
Mm-hmm.
somebody posted that. So I hit him up and I went, "Yo, where'd you get that?" Right? Because I don't have that. Right?
Yeah.
He says, "Granny gave it to me." I said, "Whoa!" I said, "Man, I need that."
Yeah.
So because we didn't have, there were no videos and
Mm-hmm.
camcorders and all that kind of stuff to capture that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And had I known that it would still go in 2025, I would have taught some classes. I would have spoke, because no one's ever asked me to speak at a panel, like no one.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Right, which is crazy, right? But I see my
Well,
picture all over the place. I was on Channel 9's website and saw my picture up on one of them little things. I said, what the heck? But
You can still teach a class.
you should.
yeah.
teach
You're
a
teaching
class.
you're teaching one right now.
Yeah. It's not too late at all.
No.
A couple more questions about Granny, if I can. Now, how old was this woman doing all this? Because
man,
she's moving pretty well. You guys saw my little video, and I don't know if I'm older than she was, but I thought I would get on the floor and spin around a little bit, and I don't know what happened.
She was about in her 30s. I think she's about in her 30s then.
Okay, so it was just a kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like in her 30s then. Yeah.
Before Medea.
She made all our clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
She made all the flyers, put all the shows together, booked all the shows. We even did the Richard Pryor burn-a-thon. Remember when he got burned back in the days?
Yeah.
We did that in LA, man. We used to tour with this group called the Variations with Kenzaki out of LA. We used to perform a lot at Jay Payton's. Jay Payton out of Oakland had some kind of show back in the days. We used to perform at old folks' homes all over the place.
Yeah.
She had us everywhere.
So when is your book coming out, bro?
I know, man. I did a lot. When I look back at all the stuff I've done, I go, damn. Yeah, I've done a lot.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about some more of that as we go along here. But CJ, I want you to play a little bit of music now, because we got a question here from Ray Harris. And let me see if I can find it. Ray wants to know, before we get started with the music, can you explain the 5 elements of hip hop and make it so it makes sense?
Okay, go ahead, Wayne.
I can't explain. I can only explain what happened in Fillmore, San Francisco.
Okay.
Because hip hop, what we were doing wasn't hip hop.
Right.
That came when I guess Rapper's Delight came out. But we was getting down way before that. Like,
we didn't call it hip hop. We didn't call it hip hop at all, because that term didn't exist until what, 76, when Cowboy said it.
Yeah, when he got out the military.
Yeah, we wasn't calling it that. We were just, like you said, getting down. That's exactly what we were doing. We were just getting down.
We were just strutters, and we were just performing. We were just talent shows all over Fillmore. We were just having fun.
Yeah.
You know, there was no tag to it. You was either a strutter, or you was either a singer, or some kind of dance. We had a bunch of girl dance groups also.
Yeah.
And we had young lady strutter groups.
Yeah.
That was real fly.
Yeah.
Well, let me help the brother Ray real quick.
Okay,
let's go.
I think it's important for him to know if he's asking the question directly. So first of all, I love what you both are saying, Wayne and CJ, that your whole movement preceded hip hop, and I think that's really important to consider, that a lot of what happened in hip hop wasn't codified as hip hop. Whether it was West Coast, East Coast, down South, or whatever, that folks were already in the movement and in the action long before it was codified. But when it was codified, the 5 elements were emceeing, which is, the person who controls the mic controller. At that time, it was the person who was toasting. Hip hop comes from the Jamaican tradition and the turntablism. So the DJing, there would be somebody with the turntables with the 2 techniques, and then there would be somebody on the microphone toasting the record, and that was called the MC. And they were just, put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That was toasting. And then those continued to formulate into rhymes, and emceeing became its own element. We talked about turntablism, which is DJing, which is what Almighty CJ Flash and Big Russ do so exquisitely. And
so sweet.
I mean, really, and that some people you know, that comes from also the Jamaican tradition of selectors. Selectors are folks who play records, but they don't always mix. You know, Kool Herc took it to a whole nother level and mixed these records, you know, and so you would have the break from James Brown, for example, you know, one of those great dance breaks, and he would take two of those records, put them together, and play that break back to back to back so that the party wouldn't stop. So that's DJing. That's the second element. Break dancing, which is what we're talking about right now, the B-boys, the B-girls, the B-theys and thems, etc. is respectfully speaking, is the acrobatic dancing, the physicalization of the movement. And you know, that's where you've got everything that these folks are talking about. And when it was codified as hip-hop in break dancing, it was the convergence of all these different styles that were happening all across the country, right? So you had tutting, you had, you know, bone breaking, you had boogaloo shrimp, you had all kind of stuff. And I'll let Wayne and CJ talk about that more, because that's not my bailiwick. But then you have graffiti, which is the art element of things. So you have the visual artists, and so folks that were bombing trains or creating murals in spaces. So that's the graffiti element. And then the fifth element, which is arguably the most important element, is the knowledge of all of it, the knowledge of the culture, the representing of understanding the history of where this art form comes from, why it happened. And we can talk about that at another time, but why it happened, who was at the forefront when it happened, and why it continues to persist today in the forms that it does. So the knowledge is the most important element. If you're gonna know any of it, you got to do that. You got to do the knowledge.
Okay, so really quickly with one word, 1 through 5. 1,
MC.
2,
DJ.
3,
B-boys.
4,
graffiti.
5,
knowledge.
I'm gonna switch it around. 1, DJ. 2, DJ. 3, DJ. 4, DJ. 5, DJ. None of it would exist without the DJ.
Right.
Yeah.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah, because if you ever look,
the term hip hop predates the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
Hip hop was a term that was used back in the days
jazz
with the Nicholas brothers.
That's right.
Because bebop was music, hip hop was dance.
That's right.
That's right.
Hip hop, as we know it, came out of a voice of rebellion. You'll have another. Well, that could be a deeper show, but it's like a chicken and an egg argument. Also,
right.
You guys bear with me for 1 second here, but is rap hip hop or is hip hop rap?
Rap is a part of hip hop.
That's what
part of the hip hop umbrella.
That's what I feel as well.
Yes,
but I stand firmly on humble, shaky ground as a second class hip hop citizen, because we, on the West Coast, caught the wave of hip hop that was born on the East Coast. So if they have a definition, I'm gonna roll with them.
Okay.
So, and people have their interpretations, because that's the beautiful thing about art and music, is that it hits you differently, hits different people, and regionally. You know, you talk about the South, you talk about Texas, because the South is not just the South. The South is Florida, the South is Georgia, the South of Texas, and, you just can't, it's different, and it hits people different ways. So when we go to the B-boy aspect of it, with the B-boy, it's the dancer is a very visual component and expression of the culture that I think allowed people who don't look like hip hop to participate in hip hop without any barriers and without any. If you had the chops, you're in.
That's right.
Okay. Now you mentioned graffiti, and with graffiti comes artwork and painting. There's an artist named Justin Bua who I had the pleasure of meeting a few years ago. So I doing some little research, talking to CJ again. So found some of his artwork. So let's take a look at some of the things he's doing. There's one of his DJ shots right there. and then this one is the dancing part. So
Mhm.
that's what I was trying to do in the video, but I stopped. I didn't
I'm
even make
glad
a
you
turn.
stopped. I'm glad you
It
stopped.
didn't make a turn.
We
As
want
I
you
move
to.
the DJ right here.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the elements right here.
And it's a combination of two of them. So
Mhm.
beautiful work. His name is Justin Bua, B-U-A. Feel free to
Oh,
Google that man.
you should see the piece he did on Russell.
He did one on you? One on you,
Oh,
Russ?
you ain't know?
No.
You know that?
You've seen it. You just didn't know it was Boo
Yeah.
that did it.
My man's
seen
head
it.
is long.
No, that's not
seen
him?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's a beautiful shot of Russell.
Okay, I'd love to see
Really
that, Russ.
catches the essence of him.
You see it every day. It's
It's in the
every
house.
day.
Yeah.
it's my my avatar.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
on
again,
your, okay.
yeah, you've seen it. You just didn't know it was Boo that did it.
Okay.
Yeah, Bull is solid. He's got he did EA Sports, and he also has a book out and everything. And
2 books, and another book is coming out soon.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
right.
see it. Yeah, I see it.
That's it right there.
There you go.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a Boo original.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, he came into KB Lex one day and just was handing out artwork and stuff like that. Just
Wow.
so I got a couple of them here somewhere around the house. I got to find them and sell them.
Justin is a he's a graffiti artist who is also a b-boy.
Yeah.
He is
He's a b-boy.
Don't ask him unless you got 2 or 3 hours. Don't ask him because he will break it all down to you. He's the core of b-boy, and he's that cat who was a dancer, who got influenced by other graffiti writers and found out that he could combine his talents in this culture and made it has become one of the preeminent artists of the culture.
And that's what you find in the culture, is that people kind of cross disciplines. So, rarely does one person stay, squarely in the lane of any one element. They tend to cross the elements.
Yeah. Look, Wayne is a prime example. Wayne is a prime example. Wayne was a dancer at 11 years old. He joined a group and learned the discipline that it takes to be a performer. And because of that, he was exposed to other elements and found out that he had a voice on the other side of the microphone as well, and became a rapper. And the beauty of hip hop is that it is very inclusive. Can you get down? Let's do it. Can you get down? Let's do it. Yeah. But it's also, you can't do this. This ain't you. Yo, Dre, stick to producing. This ain't this. It ain't for everybody. It will tell you the truth about yourself quick.
Well, it sounds like sports, like you talk about a 5-tool player in baseball, and so it's like if you got the skill set, if you try to get all 5 of those skills, then that's when you're gonna be a superstar, right?
That's it.
When coming up in Fillmore, obviously there was so much going on culturally and so many things happening. But by the time you were coming up, especially when you got with the group that you were part of, was Huey MC around at all? Did you and him rub elbows with each other?
We're all from the same neighborhood, but when I was dancing, not yet. But when I started moving around with Dr. Funk, then yeah. But yes, he was around. Huey was.
And Honest Bob.
Who's Dr. Funk?
He's silly, man.
But I'm saying this for a reason.
Miguel Fonseca. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm saying it. No, go Dr. Funk. You can't just gloss over that because people don't really know who he is and how important he is to the West Coast.
After Granny, I became a part of this DJ crew called Dr. Funk and Funk Productions, which is Miguel Fonseca. And Miguel was. I found an old flyer of a Granny show we did in '78, and the DJ was Dr. Funk. Imagine that. Imagine that. So, but I ended up being a part of the crew, and Miguel was doing house parties. I think, man, when I was like 11, but he had the whole San Francisco film area on lock with the house parties.
Yeah.
And nobody would go to a party unless it was a Dr. Funk party in Fillmore.
Was San Francisco kind of separated at that time in the sense like, we had Fillmore over here, and then you had Bayview over there, and then you had Army Street and
One more time.
Lakeview?
Uh-huh.
Was it, or were y'all all cohesive culturally at that time?
It was, we were so young, you only stayed in that box of Fillmore, if that makes sense.
Well,
Fillmore's
So-
relatively big.
I disagree. Because
Well-
at the same time, we were being bused. So I was in the Sunset for school when I come back home to Lakeview. Cats from HP were being bused to schools in the Richmond. So we were friends in school, but we come back to our neighborhoods and we're more compartmentalized in our neighborhoods. But the busing kind of helped us be more unified as a city. Now with Dr. Funk, he became such, and what Wayne and Mouse and Gary and what those cats did is that they broke down all the barriers, the neighborhood barriers and the city barriers, because people would follow them for what they did. So they would go from Booker T and Fillmore to the Ramallah Hall in Lakeview. You know, they would go from Washington High School in San Francisco to St. Liz in the East Bay to follow Dr. Funk, because it had been that big of a deal. Now, on Sundays, everybody from the Bay Area would come to Golden Gate Park to be on roller skates behind Dr. Funk. So it was a pretty big unifier, and a lot of people don't give you guys, Wayne, you don't get your unifying flowers because people think about the parties and everything, but you did a lot to kind of make sure that it wasn't intentional. I don't think it was intentional because they were gigs, but you did a lot to make sure that people were all together. Everybody came to party and have a good time, and there were very, very, very few fights at these parties. Very, very, very few.
Y'all was tired. You were skating and dancing and breaking and spinning.
So
I'd beat your ass, but I'm tired.
Russ, I was going to get to that part. I was speaking to him in the beginning when we were very, very young. We just did everything in a box. And then as we got with Miguel, then it started spreading. Yeah. So you're right.
Yeah. Between Miguel and Big Bob, everything started spilling over from San Francisco to the East Bay where we are. And I got wind of Big Bob early 80s. And Miguel, we already knew because we had seen Miguel around and we'd seen flyers with Miguel. And I had never met him, but I knew who he was just because you guys were all over the place. So
now fun fact, Bob and everybody used to be at our parties.
Right?
Yeah, they used to all be at our parties. Mm-hmm. Then because it's all time stamped when everybody started, getting, starting to DJ or getting their ideas to DJ. Mm-hmm. Is they all came out of that whole being at the Dr. Funk parties.
It was Dr. Funk.
We need a documentary. I know they did. Yeah. I know KQED and PBS did the when If Cities Could Dance miniature documentaries, but
they really?
They did. They did, and they covered Will Randolph Sr. They did.
Black Resurgence and the Black Messenger.
Black Resurgence. Thank you. But we need a broader.
So Boogaloo Shrimp, is that guy that was in the movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from Breaking. Yeah, Boogaloo Shrimp.
So he did a special. Somebody interviewed him, and he said, "I was inspired to dance when I saw this group named Granny and Robojoy."
Wow.
There you go.
We need a documentary.
That was profound.
Nice. Now let me ask you this, Wayne.
I saw that, brother.
You sent me another picture. So what is this group right here? Close Encounters of the Funkiest Kind.
You can't leave out Close.
So Close came. So another fun fact. In Granny, we gave shows. So we gave this show called the Bong Show at Queen Ada Hall.
Jesus Christ.
And Close Encounters' first performance was in our Bong Show.
Wow.
Their first performance back in the days. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at some great outfits.
And then later on, after Granny faded out, then I joined Close.
Yeah.
And that's me in the middle. And then you have Mark, Jarvis, Alan, and Keith.
Wow. Mark Elliott?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Mark Elliott, really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
It
was in Close.
So we there's a story to tell. So for the San Francisco Strutters, we get very personal when no one tries to interview the San Francisco dance history
community.
They automatically group us in hip hop, and we look at everybody sideways because we knew nothing about that, of what we were doing. So whenever you talk to a strutter, we look at you like, I don't know about that. I just know what we was doing. And then when breaking came, and then it pushed us out of the way, and then the Jabberwockies was doing our style all over the place, and everybody thought they created it. So it's just a crazy thing for us to see that.
Does that often happen in the sense that LA seems to get more of the notoriety as opposed to
the Bay,
Oakland or San Francisco?
Yeah. And we didn't have managers, we didn't have agents.
They got the infrastructure.
We didn't have the money here for somebody to go, oh, let me show you guys how to do this, because we were just having fun, you know. So to see 2025 and they're doing stuff I was doing as a kid, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But we had no clue, you know.
Same thing is happening now with 90s R&B and K-pop today.
Big time.
Yes, you know, and that goes back to us as the people. We give everything away. You know,
do we give everything away, or are we simply living?
Yeah, we're just creating.
We're creating, but we're quick to teach people our stuff.
That's true.
Because we're on to the next thing.
We're quick to go, let me show you. And then next thing we know it, they got a whole show in Vegas.
Yeah.
I saw the video I did, the little boy teaching Mr. Rogers how to do it all. So you saw that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you my culture, and you go ahead and capitalize off of it.
Yeah, capitalize on it. Yeah.
The breaker board I got was a Mr. Rogers breaker board.
You lying?
I'm lying. but you saw
it came with free lumpia.
Listen, the trolley, for real, the trolley in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood ended in like a spiral like that, and that's what the breaker board looked like.
Oh wow.
Oh, I wish you had a picture of that or something.
I gotta find it. My dad has it somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
So what did y'all dance to if hip hop wasn't a thing, right? What was y'all dancing?
Hold that thought. That's a good lead in, because I'm going to tell you.
I was trying to do it.
I'm going to tell you that you're watching
I gave some songs.
Yeah, you're watching IRTS Live. We do this every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. We are talking tonight to Mr. Wayne Jackson, and CJ Flash is going to get in here in the next segment about their legacy, their history, their dancing. They're just dancing, b-boy dancing. I found out it's the same as break dancing. Russell was on a skateboard. Ryan was on a
breaker board. I was on
breaker board. D Minor, I didn't ask you. You got any kind of dancing history?
No, I don't. I don't have any rhythm.
No. We'll have to talk about that. Now that I think about it,
Really?
I've never really seen you dance.
So you have no rhythm?
We got to work on
think
that.
so. I don't think I do.
You don't think you do?
I was sideline. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna work on that.
I was doing the Roger for what's happening now.
All right, well,
I was doing the Carlton.
We'll talk about that later.
I was doing the Carlton on that one.
But yeah, you know, the first part of the show tonight we did a nice little tribute to D'Angelo. And again, I'm going to remind people that we're going to play a full episode of the 30th anniversary of D'Angelo's Brown Sugar album that we did a few months back. I'll run that on Thursday on all the social media platforms. But again, tonight we're talking about breakdancing and all that kind of thing. We've heard Boogaloo, we've heard Grannies, we've heard all kind of different things. CJ, you want to play a little bit of music that speaks to this era?
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
I do you want that man? I do you want that man?
That's funky. I forgot about that song. Grand Central
Man.
Station. Forgot about that song. Now
That
let
was-
me
that
ask you. Let me ask you this question, and Ryan, you can follow up if you like. Music. What makes a good b-boy song? And what is it? Because you sent me a list. CJ gave me a list. Some of the songs were funky, like James Brown.
Yeah.
One song that CJ sent me was by Eddie Kendricks that I had never heard in my entire life.
Are you serious?
It sounded like it was on the flip side of Keep On Trucking or something like that. It wasn't meant to be heard by anybody except the people who bought the album. But you send me 5 songs and you listed one of those. So what would determine what a great song for you to dance to? And how did you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
You asking me?
Me?
I'm asking.
So for us, it was James Brown. Can't Take It With You.
Mm-hmm.
That one you just played, Ready or Not by Herbie Hancock.
That's all coming.
What else, man? Whatever was funky, man. Whatever was funky. It was all about the funk back then.
Mm-hmm.
Filmer was heavy with the funk.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Now, let me ask you this. Were you trying to dance to the beat? Because I see a lot of videos, and CJ again educated me on this, that a lot of times when you see it in certain videos, the movie, they weren't really dancing to the song that was actually being played. It was this one that was inserted. So it didn't always look like they were dancing to the beats as much as they were dancing over the top of it. Right. So your stuff was funkier. So, I mean, in my day, we'd probably be dancing to that as well, but not necessarily breakdancing and things. So, but CJ's, your list was a little bit different. So explain what happened in your part of the woods there.
So let's go back a little bit. We say b-boying. B-boying is something that originated from New York. The term b-boying, because it does associate itself with breakdancing. What we were doing here on the West Coast was more what Wayne was talking about, and everything was rooted in the funk. Everything, all of the dance, all of the movements, all of it was rooted in the funk. So the music is a little different. Now, not to say that what they were listening to on the East Coast we weren't were necessarily listening to here on the West Coast. It was just music and we got it. But the James Brown, of course, that was a universal thing. And Grand Central Station, of course, is Bay Area. You can't get more Bay Area than that other than Sly and the Family Stone, which is the same thing. So it was the music dictated the movement. And when we were dancing or getting down, breaking, we wasn't doing ground moves like what they discovered in New York or what they filtered into New York. And there are a bunch of elements from capoeira to kung fu that are part of what became break dancing. Capoeira Angola, which is originally from Angola and moved through Brazil through slavery. That's a whole nother conversation, but it originated in Angola. But it all became a part of the movement of what b-boys were doing in the East, in New York, and in the Bronx in particular. What we were doing out here was a series of hand movements and body movements and the whole 9 yards. And depending on where you were from, if you were from San Francisco, it was strutting. If you were in Richmond, it was roboting. Mm-hmm. If you were in Oakland, Berkeley, or any of one of those, Hayward, it was boogalooing.
It was boogalooing, yeah.
Yeah. If you went down south to LA, it was locking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the lockers. Yeah.
And they had a boogaloo element to it later, but locking. That was more of the movement that was happening. So there's regions where the dances are similar, but it's like slang. A cat from the city, San Francisco, can say something that San Francisco cats get, but if they come out to Oakland, they might say it. We might not get it, but there is a word for it, and then they kind of intertwine, if you will.
Ella and Hecka.
DJ, would you say cats like you mentioned, like the Lockers with Penguin and Tony and all of them and Shabadoo, you think, and then even to extend it out, even with let's say Baby Gap, the Gap Band.
Oh, Baby Gap. Wow.
With a lot of those cats, was they taking? Would you say that they was watching y'all from afar, especially you being in the Berkeley and Richmond and Oakland areas?
No, they had their own style. The locking style was a whole different get down.
It was
a whole different. That's a whole different get down than what was happening up here. A whole different get down. The boogalooing stuff and the strutting stuff was a combination of body movements as well, but it was really intense, and you could see, and even like the cats and Fillmore in particular, because when I started dancing, we would go out to San Francisco to kind of cut your teeth. If you didn't make it in San Francisco, it was a wrap. Well, there's two places that you had to cut your teeth. One was the Richmond Talent Show. That was a whole nother, but you had to cut your teeth on the streets of San Francisco, be it the Pier or Market Street, where the cable cars turn around, Powell and Market.
Wow.
Sometimes we would dance in front of Macy's, but the crowds got so big that the police made us move. So, but right in front, like Fisherman's Wharf, every group in San Francisco had to cut their teeth out there at one point or another, unless they were performance only. So like Demons never really cut their teeth out there, because we saw Demons in the performance arena. Granny Robotroys, did you guys dance out there, Wayne?
No.
No, because she had you guys performing.
Right.
So that made sense.
Yeah, but
cats like the Electricians, they were out there all the time, because we would always run into the Electricians. They're from Fillmore. There was a group called Mind Motion. Mind Motion was out there. They were out there a lot. And then there were a bunch of other smaller groups who we never really got the names, but we would always see them. And the competition was so fierce out there that it was a matter of who had the loudest radio. And who had the freshest batteries. Batteries would run down. Really. Yeah,
right.
Sure. But you really had to have a loud radio to attract the attention, because 50 feet away is another group dancing.
Right.
25 feet away from you is another group dancing. And so at that point, we're all kind of competing. You're right. we're all competing, but that's a little later. That's after. It's like early 80s. Yeah. But I digress. We were talking about the music, right?
Okay, hold on right there then. Let's play a little bit of your performance, and you talk about all that street dancing.
Lord, are you serious?
Let's take a look at this. Yes.
Each needs some sheep. Each needs some sheep. Each needs some sheep. Each needs some sheep.
That brother, he double jointed like a mug, man. That brother, man.
What's so dope about all of this, man, is just how derivative the movements that you got going right now are, right? So you look at that, and then you look at the turfers that are out right now. You look at Turf Fiends or Turf Inc. or anybody who's doing, those kinds of movements today are direct descendants of what you guys were doing, And then similarly, I mean, we were talking about all the different regions of dance that influence hip hop, and b-boying and all of that. Even today, there's not much difference between, Memphis juking and Chicago's, style. And then, or, there's moments where turfing breaks into crumping, breaks into jerking. Like it's the lines between it all are blurred, and you see it. It's also blurred in terms of time.
Yeah.
This era that you guys were dancing in is not we could put you guys right in the turf battles right now and you would win.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, I mean the movements are
that was 40 years ago. 41.
Exactly.
I think that was 83, 84. That was
Hey, CJ, I'm eating them alive. I don't know about you. I'm eating them alive.
I mean,
I got maybe about 6 moves, and one of them ain't no ground move. Believe
well,
it.
maybe not you currently, but you back then.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't wait to get back on stage.
I know that's right, Wayne.
And it's coming.
Right.
I watch all the Red Bull dance battles. I went to the Red Bull dance battle, the regional one, just this past month, and it's thousands of folks in there. And they featured the Turf Fiends, who dance for Kendrick. It's like it's all still going. It's so dope to see what you guys did there, and how it's still moving.
So what we did in the city when we were young, everybody wore mirrors. All the strutters wore those mirror glasses. We wore white gloves and blazers with our name on the back.
Yep.
And crocus sacks.
Yeah. And if you went to a party,
and we had
that's how you showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had beavers. We go to the hat store and buy the beavers with a feather in it. Everybody had their own little colors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And we just go in the party and stand up against the wall. I couldn't dance against anybody, but I'd go in there fitted though.
That's funny. I remember being at the parties, and you could always tell who was a strutter or a popper or a roboter or a boogaloo because they would stand there like this, and they would have on white gloves, and they would just stand there waiting for the opportunity for their song to come on. So they could clear the floor. They would just wait.
They get busy.
Tell me, what's a crocus sack? Help me understand what
It's these
I've heard it in songs a million times. I don't know what it is.
Crocus sack is like a burlap little loafer. It's a comfortable shoe. It looks like a house shoe, but it's made out of burlap.
Oh.
And it's got the same sole as a wallaby.
Yeah.
And you can dance. You can dance in that.
No, you had them.
Busy.
You had them.
Wow. It was crocus sacks and karate shoes.
Yep.
I know the karate shoes.
Crocus sack heavier? Is a heavier shoe?
Yeah.
Because
like
the
dance
feel light. And there were two kinds of karate shoes. There were the kind with the red rubber sole about this thick, and then the kind with the white cloth sole.
Oh wow!
And so they were black with the white sole that was real thin or real thick, but it was cloth.
Yeah. Where would you buy something like that?
Well, you can get any
Chinatown.
But those are the ones that you use in a dojo because you're not supposed to have shoes on the mat.
Right.
It's out of respect. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
But those are also the shoes that you could strut in.
Yep.
You could do different moves in it. So
we got our crocus sacks from Chinatown.
Yep.
We got our crocus sacks. Lakeview got their crocus sacks from the Army surplus store on Geneva Mission.
Nice.
Yep.
Or and everybody went to Kaplan's on Market.
Kaplan's was the joint.
Everybody from all the different cities, all different neighborhoods would go to Kaplan's.
I came out from the East Bay, from Berkeley, to go to Kaplan's because we had discovered Kaplan's while we were out there boogling. I was like, where y'all getting y'all stuff from? Oh yeah, first you got to go to Toys to get the gloves and the hats. Because Toys was right by the terminal. We used to catch the F to get to the terminal. Yeah. So we would go by Toys to get the hats and the gloves, lighted masks and stuff. and then we would go to Kaplan's to get everything else.
Speaking of Berkeley, you guys were on UC Berkeley's campus there.
Yeah,
They
that was
were.
that
They
was
were.
at
I saw
right
that.
in the front of Sproul Hall, or right there
Yeah.
on Bancroft and Telegraph, where Bancroft and
Okay.
Telegraph meet. And you know what's funny? We evolved to that spot because the police made us get off of Durant and Telegraph. We used to dance in front of Leopold's,
Oh
and
wow.
we danced on the corner of Durant and Telegraph, and the police said, "You guys are getting too big. Why don't you go down the street and dance right there?"
Mhm.
That's how we started. We started dancing there. Nobody else was doing it at that time.
Oh, wow.
And then, so Saturdays when we didn't go to the city, we would just go up there.
Is that the
Okay.
Is that the T intersection right by the
Right by Poly Ballroom.
Poly Ballroom? Okay.
Yep,
All right.
right there. Poly Ballroom was right upstairs from where we were dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a couple more questions. First of all, what did the folks in Chinatown and the Army Surplus store think when all these little black kids were coming here buying their shoes?
Money,
They were selling them.
money.
They were
They were
loving it. They were
selling.
loving it.
And I will give them their credit. They did not sell. They didn't bump their price up either.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
They did not bump their price up.
And then
We
second
can't-
question is, what made this whole genre stop? Because it sounded so beautiful. The kids were staying busy. Didn't sound there was fighting. Everybody was focused on music and getting better at what they do.
You speak
what's
to it,
stopping?
Wayne, and then I'll chime in.
Breaking came in and killed it, man.
Mm.
Breaking came in and killed it.
Mm.
And but had we had the eyes on San Francisco, it would have competed. But everything from New York just washed over the Bay Area.
Mm.
Everything. The band stopped performing. Hip hop started playing. Everybody started rapping. We had no more live bands because San Francisco was full of bands. Like it was all
Yeah.
about bands,
Yep.
bands.
Yep, it was the same here in the East Bay.
Our bands were so hot that Prince would come and steal musicians.
Right?
Mm.
Yeah, he came to Berkeley a few times.
Yeah,
He kind of
yeah.
Eddie Minifield
yeah.
pulled him out of
So
there. It's like,
the breaking killed it, man, and then cracked.
yeah. Well, and I'll add to that. I won't say breaking killed it. I will say the media killed it. And I'm going to tell you why.
Mhm.
Because they started making a mockery of what it was that we were doing.
Mm.
Oh, see, I
Right
didn't-
now, if you act now, you can get this and learn how to break for a little bit of nothing, and so it was commercialized and demonized at the same time.
Oh, you talking
So,
about breaking? Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
breaking,
Yeah.
but that's all a part of, because we kind of got swept up in it.
Mhm.
It was
Right,
all
right,
our
right.
dance. We created
Right.
all of it, and so when they started trying to commercialize it, and it just, we had to go back underground to where it originated, and so
Right.
it never really stopped. What it did was just kind of, the spotlight just kind of moved.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have bought my breaker board. I apologize.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with
I
it.
killed the culture.
Yeah, your uncle shot it in the foot.
That was my dad. My dad shot
That was
it
your
in the
dad?
foot. Yeah, we went to Toys R Us.
That was your uncle all this time.
It was my dad, and I would dance to my uncle's records.
Oh, okay.
I would put collage records on hyperspeed on my Sesame Street record player.
Yeah, and see,
Wait,
that's
wait, you
that's
used to
another
play in
element.
collage?
Huh?
You
My
know the
Uncle
band
Lee.
collage?
Yeah, the band collage.
So I used to perform with collage when I was in Grand Repertory.
Get
Kurt
out of here.
Crumpler, Kurt Crumpler was in collage.
Yes, he was. They just
Yeah,
got
man.
honored by with a Lifetime Achievement Award.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to, matter of fact, collage, I think, was our backup band for Grand Repertory before they performed.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
yes,
Okay.
I knew Kurt way back then. Yes.
Lee Peters is my uncle, the singer.
Really? Wow. Small world.
Small world. Love that.
Yeah, me too. That's good stuff.
And I'm loving everything I'm learning tonight, because I did learn a lot. All jokes aside, I got a lot of questions answered, and it's been great hearing you talk, Wayne, and it's been great hearing you talk, CJ, because you can feel the passion. You guys still, this is who you are. It's not what you did. It's who you are.
That's right.
And I respect anybody who's about that life, So we got just a couple of more minutes. We're going to wrap it up because StreamYard is. But so CJ, you want to play a couple of songs and then we talk, and then we'll get any last thoughts in after that, okay?
Yeah, let me play a handful of, if you will, genre defining songs.
Let me get loosened up here.
Get loose. Don't throw no water down,
Yeah,
Sherry.
we're all gonna throw water. We're all gonna
Oh,
throw water.
the water. What's with the water?
Now, remember, the stuff out here was rooted in the funk, so this is one of them.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, this was a Strutters anthem in slow mo. That's how you do it.
Exactly.
Man.
And then for solo cats, this was one of the joints.
I don't see why you won't have this dance with me. Rhythm or twist will set and just sit there and you'll see. The music sounds too good for you to look and act this way. Just free your mind of all your thoughts and you will surely say.
And then as it evolved, songs like this came through and said, it evolves more, and you heard stuff like this.
Hey, we was doing the Pac-Man to that.
The funk is still there. You can hear the funk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music shifted again, and you heard. And we could just go on and on and on. There's so much music.
The almighty DJ CJ Flash, everybody, right there. Right there. Nice job. Nice job.
So much music.
And education.
We haven't even gotten to the breathing element of LA with Egyptian Lover and them cats.
Right,
Rich
right,
Payson and
right.
Formula 5 with Killer Groove. We ain't touched none of that stuff yet.
Right,
What was all the fascination with the space age kind of theme that they would do with these songs?
Yeah, it was a whole technological advance with computers and synthesizers and sequencers and that kind of thing. And so it was but it still has the funk in it. Like you cannot deny any of the stuff that Michael Johnson and the Johnson crew put together, that it wasn't funky. It was definitely funky. And then later on, Hashim in '83 with Nah Fish, it was funky. It still had that element of funk. Like, so I said all that to say that the music dictated the movement, but the music was still rooted in the funk.
What was trippy about the music is how reactive the streets actually dictated what was going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of those songs that CJ played were actually B-sides or deep album cuts that the streets discovered and said, we're going to do that. Because let's say, go back to Nah Fish, the song that is famous is the B-side.
Right.
Yeah. The one that, that starts off, It's Time, is the B-side.
That's the B-side. You're right.
The version of was it Look Out for the OVC? That version he played that everybody was using was the B-side.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Funk. When he played Planet Rock for the first time, he was playing the instrumental. He never played.
Yeah, we never played the lyrics.
Never played the lyrics.
Yeah.
We didn't discover the lyrics till way down the road.
Way after the fact.
I got a question. For all of us who weren't, breaking, pop locking, boogaloo, and doing whatever, right? Strutting, tutting, whatever. What were y'all doing? Were you just holding up the wall?
No. The people were all these songs we just talked about.
Yeah.
Were party rocking
party songs.
Yeah.
So if you weren't in a crew, you was just dancing off to the side anyway.
Yeah, but you were doing like Wayne was talking about the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
We had dances back then.
Okay.
People were doing the GQ, the gigolo, all these dance people don't dance no more. People don't dance no more.
All they do is this.
Think about like this, how like now you go out and everybody's doing the where your fans at and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you still got the folks up to the side dancing with another person of having somebody that they asked to come out and dance. Right. So doing what they do. So because I went out dancing a lot back in those days. I was a pretty good dancer back in them days. and I never did any of this locking and popping and carrying on. I couldn't do that.
But you saw cats doing it though.
Yeah. But it just wasn't my thing. I just was I just did different little smooth, me. Y'all know me. I was doing some.
We know you.
Shit.
We know you.
You know that. You know me. So,
you were sharing cologne. You were too busy sharing cologne.
That's a six element.
Got to smell.
The smell good.
Yeah, check this out. I call this one Older Navy.
This ain't even old England. Just like old Europe, man. We got the whole continent.
The whole continent.
Look, I hate to bring this to, and then we got to wrap it up because otherwise we won't be able to replay this show, and I know we won't want to. So once again, if you're watching this for the first time, this is IRTS Live. We do this every Tuesday at 7:05 on the West Coast. Figure out that time wherever you live. It's always a different topic. We've got guests. We've got one more thing. We're going to say thank you very much to Mr. Wayne Jackson up here.
Oh yeah.
Let me see your shirt. Hold on.
Still here, SF.
You're SF. I love that.
Right.
Love
Still
it.
here, SF415.
That's right.
All day, baby.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we talked a bit about the D'Angelo at the beginning of this. One more time, I'm going to remind you that we're going to play the 30th anniversary show that we did for Brown Sugar. That will come up on Thursday. You'll see it everywhere that you're watching now. You get an announcement saying it's coming again. If you have not already, please go to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe. It's free. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I think we're about 15 away. So
let's go. Come on, y'all.
I would love us to get to 1,000 by next Tuesday. That would be amazing. So I'm going to go around the horn like really quickly. I mean, like literally 38 seconds each, starting with you, Ryan. Right. What you got?
I just want to say, man, we started this conversation talking about D'Angelo and the funk that he brings, and I love a connection. And we ended with the funk that, folks dance to. My homeboy John Buggs is an exquisite dancer, and he's happening to be
Wow.
dancing. He's dancing to D'Angelo right there.
Wow.
And I just love the intersection of the two things, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the dancing and the funk, and that's always the through line for the music, that we've been talking about. And shout out to you, Wayne, continuing to hold it down, still being in San Francisco.
Thank you,
and
family. I appreciate
CJ,
it.
you guys are too humble. You're too humble, and we need a documentary on y'all.
D-Mine, are you up?
Yeah, shout out to John Buggs. I definitely follow him on the IG. But I just want to say, Wayne, it's an honor and a pleasure just to actually share this platform with you and just to hear your stories. And CJ,
Thank you.
this is even more of a special show for me, just because on the strength that we're listening to you, we're getting your perspective. And you told us that a few weeks ago on the other program, but this is great just to hear the music and for you to expand on your perspective on what you were doing. So it's great to hear that.
Thank you.
For me, it was just having a front row seat to hear you and to hear Wayne. And this was amazing for me. So thank you.
And you know what else is amazing? To find out you can't dance, D-Minor. That's like, damn. We never talked about that. Yeah,
We're gonna do we got to do a let's hear it for the boy. We got to get that man dancing.
Just stay on rhythm. That's about him.
I've seen him on the dance floor before. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. He can dance.
Big Russ, show that shirt again, Big Russ.
Yo, hold on. Believe that man. When he say he can't dance, he ain't lying. Believe that man.
I like that.
I tried to help you, D-Minor. I tried.
Ain't no helping on this one.
Let that man live in his truth, okay? Real quick. So Wayne, CJ, you two dudes are the Forrest Gump of our culture. I will tell you, there are mile markers for our culture from the 70s till now, and you will see these dudes poking their head in every moment there was a sea change. Wayne, you know I love you, brother. CJ, you know how I feel about you. You guys are a documentary is a book is what you need to do.
Right.
And then let them write a movie about you after that book.
Appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
CJ Flash, talk to us.
Wayne, man, you got receipts up to wazoo, man, and what from one b-boy to another. I just want to thank you for your continued effort, your continued commitment to the art form, regardless of if you get any shine or not, and always standing on the principles that Granny gave you to be the best performer and to just share the information that you came with, man. And so I'm honoring you because Granny and the Robotroys, you have no idea how much of an influence that group was on all of the boogaloos around the Bay Area. Everybody knew about Granny and the Robotroys. Everybody. Like, it wasn't a thing that was just regional. People knew that you guys got around. And so, you guys were a shining example as to how much we needed to practice, because we practiced 5 hours a day. No homework, no nothing. We just 5 hours a day. And so, because we had to compete. We were competing.
Right.
I ain't gonna never be Granny and Robotroys ever. So it was one of those things. So I mean, it was all love, but it was competitive for real. Like, we had to learn the secret sauce. Right. So thank you, brother. And then we won't even talk about Close and how Close Encounters changed the game. And big shout out to Demons of the Mind, who is now Media Circus, who's been Media Circus for a long time now. And a bunch of the other groups in Richmond that we could talk on part 2, because I feel a part 2 coming.
Right.
Okay, let me jump in here now. I would like to talk to Granny about the child labor laws that she was breaking. There's some issues here, I also want to show you guys this that I found. You ever seen this one? Run DMC, see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was going through all my boxes from my out in the garage and opened something I hadn't seen in like 7 years and just decided, let me take some of the things out. But again, I'm just going to say what everybody's been saying. This has been a fantastic show. I've just learned so much about the culture, about about everything, and it just makes sense a lot more to me now. You know, I want to hear more of the music. I want to see the documentary. I want to hear the speeches. Wayne, I want you to teach the class. CJ, I want you to teach the class. I want y'all to make that happen because it's
There it is.
fantastic.
There it is.
So, Wayne, I guess I can give you the last word, but it's going to have to be quick. Go.
I'd like to thank all of you for inviting me on the show, giving me this platform to speak about my past. I'm really grateful. And it's long overdue because I have yet to talk about where I come from and where I am now when it comes to being a creator. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
And now you have a new show to pin to the top of your Facebook page because he pinned the show that he did with us 2 years ago, but not the top of his Facebook page for 2 years. Now you got a new one. So Ryan Nicole is sending you the hearts. So again, we want to thank you guys for watching this show. If you missed any of this or part of it, or just want to watch it all over again, stay right where you are, and it's going to start right away. Or you can check it out on the YouTube channel again at IRTS Show. CJ, you got something to take us home?
Yeah, I'll take you home.
We will see you next week with another episode of IRTS Live. Peace out, everybody. Peace.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Go ahead, Russ.
IRTS Live is created and hosted by Jerry Dove and is joined by a team of the industry's finest. Music director CJ Flash, Ryan Nicole, Big Russ, and D Minor. IRTS Live is brought to you by C-Dove HR Consulting Group, providing personalized service for building a better tomorrow. Enjoy the difference. Check out gdovedesigns.com for hoodies and t-shirts that make a statement. And be sure to get the new IRTS Live coffee mug. Join CJ Flash for the feel-good music for the people experience. Live Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m. and Fridays from 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Watch and listen to him on TikTok and Mixcloud. And if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, please email us at info